Welcome, friends. Let's begin here. What we're going to work on today is embracing the blessings to open our heart and accept. So let's begin by drawing the abdominals in and taking a seat, lowering the eyelids down, moving from the outer world inward. So go inside and imagine that you're opening up all of the channels and opening the mind, the heart, and the body. Good things are coming. We'll do a gentle flow class today. Relax the arms or the hands onto the legs. Pull the shoulders gently backward. So if you're joining me, we're recording so that today's class can be done on repeat. Take a slow, deep breath in. Let it go slowly, opening your heart to the lessons. Repeat that breath. Slow down your thinking mind. It's okay that your thinking mind keeps grabbing your attention. We're going to use that to go with the flow, to allow blessings to unfold. Another deep breath in here. And as you let it go, embrace the abdominals, pull them in, cinch the waist front to back, side to side. Now squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. So there's muscles between the shoulder blade and the back, or in the ribs, that hold and stabilize. We worked in our last session together on anchoring. So wherever you've been, friends, wherever you're coming from, no matter how long it's been, or if this is your first practice, know that you are welcome. I appreciate you, and you are. This is an important thing to repeat to yourself. I am. So breathe in, I am. Breathe out slowly. I use the word that. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out whatever it is that is your intention. So pick one or two words that are easy to repeat. When you inhale, you say to yourself, I am. When you exhale, connect the strength of the core. So actively pull the abdominal walls in as you vibrate the exhale over the vocal cords so that they hear a slight whisper. And you say to yourself, this is the use of our thinking mind to redirect our energy and our intention to take action to create the change that we want. So inhale, I am. And exhale with the sound, with the pulling in of the abdominals, and with that phrase. For me, it's I am that. And the word that represents all, that universal, eternal feeling of consciousness that I am connected, mind, body, breath, spirit. To everything. And all I'm doing on this practice, on this mat with the flow of vinyasa today, is connecting to a universal flow of energy that I am. I don't have to become it. I am. Do that one more time because it's really important to bring your mind, your active thoughts, and this body here together. And then open your eyes. Let's come off of the blanket and just warm up those hips. And we'll do that by sweeping the knees side to side. So lean a little bit back and then just twist the lower body side to side. If you are able to close your eyes, do that. And I want you to channel the sensation and the feeling of Shavasana. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. I want you to think about a calm, the bottom of the ocean, the stillness of outer space, the beauty of a mountain breeze. A calm, clear, relaxing, sunny, bright day in a meadow. And as you're sweeping and twisting and letting the legs go in and out, because we are going to work the inner, outer thighs in a variety of patterns. Ujjayi. Ujjayi is that whisper sound you make when you exhale so that you're vibrating air over the semi-closed vocal cords. Like the sound you would make if you were fogging up your glasses, if you're going to clean your reading glasses. Ujjayi is the whisper sound that reminds you of your intention. So remember the I am statement that you created? Ujjayi drives your energy into that direction. So I invite you today to be a student of your practice, whether you're doing all the flow with me, or you can just do one pose, or you're just breathing along. Maybe I'll repeat the breathing parts more today. 2 more breaths. As we move, our breath, of course, goes a little bit faster. And 1. So now I invite you to come around to hands and knees. So again, whether you're doing every pose or you're just able to do a few. So let's say your wrists hurt today, maybe not as much hands and knees. We'll have plenty of opportunity for other things. So maybe you're making like a tent with your fingers, and maybe you want to work on the strength of your fingers a little bit more. Let's just try swaying the hips side to side. So in a way, we're doing the same thing we did a moment ago. Close your eyes and sway with the breeze. We're working toward today integration. The movement and the flow of you becoming like nature. So for most of the things in this world, we don't create, we don't guide nature and tell it what to do. But our thoughts and our actions, we have sway. So sway and circle. Kind of push back and around. So really dig in to the connection of the leg bone, the femur, into the hip socket. There's a lot of really juicy connective tissue there. Maybe go the other way if you're going in a circle and begin to feel around the low back. Maybe add a flexion and extension in the spine like a cat and a cow. But keep strengthening around the core. Keep the corset around the waist, tightening, engaged, but not steel, not thick cement, but a resilient latex, something like that. Something that can move, bend, reshape. And if we warm it up, and train it in the right way, it can change our thoughts. It becomes our new shape of thinking. Do 3 breaths, really get in there now. Really flow with kindness and observe gently. So again, be careful if your mind starts saying, oh no, this back, it can't do lizard pose. Watch your thoughts, but gently guide them back into kindness. Let's push back into child's pose. Maybe widen the knees and the feet a little bit, because again, we're going to do a little bit with the inner thighs, outer thighs. So let's wake up the inner thighs by maybe widening the knees. Two more breaths. Take in with an open heart all that surrounds. We'll come back up to hands and knees. I'm walking just an inch forward on my mat so that when I lift one leg up and back, I have some space behind me. I'm not, kicking the dog or something. So just sway the leg a little bit side to side while stabilizing the hips. Now make an arc. So go up, over, and down, up, out, and down without moving the hips. So right away, this wakes up the fire in the core, the hearth, the heat, and it generates that heat or warmth that we need to reshape, to unfold, to embrace the blessings that we have. And it really does change your thinking when we repeat to ourselves, I've got this. I'm doing well. Do 3 more. Then cross the leg behind, bring the knee to the floor on the opposite side of that calf, and then lean and push back in that direction. So let me figure this out. If I go way back, I get more of a hip stretch. If I don't go as back far, I get more of a back stretch. If I swing or sweep my hips side to side, I get all of that. Float your way back up to hands and knees. Uncross that leg, stretch it back and behind you, hold it there, and point and flex at the ankle. Circle the foot around. 3, 2, 1. Go the other way. 3, 2, and 1. Let's take that toe to the floor, tuck the toe under. Now turn onto your side. So the same side hand goes under the chest. Turn the body by twisting the hips. This front hand reaches up to the sky. So we're in a modified side plank pose. And let's flow a little bit. The hand goes down by the hip, and then it flows up and over the top of the head towards the floor ahead of you. So open towards the hip, like a big rainbow, big arch, forward and back. 3, keep flowing with kindness. 2, now come all the way up. So keep the legs on the floor and lift your upper body up. Yeah. And now the whole body's going to go side to side. So towards the foot on the floor and then towards the other side. Now, maybe you land, maybe you don't land. You kind of figure out what you want to do, but go with the flow. Now, this is really, really strengthening around the side waist. 3, keep observing with kindness. Go with the flow. Open up to all of the energy that is flowing around you. And so then land. So bring both hands back down to the floor. Now this leg that's behind you, take it out to the side. So lift it up, take it out at a 90-degree angle off the edge of the mat and push down. All right, that's it. Just push down with that foot that's on the floor so that the inner thigh and the ligaments on the inner knee are getting strength. So we're about to come up and balance on a leg. So we need that guidance. We need that intelligence, but most of all, we need strength in the connective tissues. So keep pushing down. 3. Keep hardening around the waist. So sort of suck the belly in so it becomes this, rock, sort of this place where you can push off from. Then take this leg and step it forward. Now I'm going to grab my blocks, but the leg steps forward to the outside edge of the mat. So this is lizard. When your leg is at a diagonal, that's called lizard pose, not low lunge. When your both arms are on the inside, that's lizard. So now let's move this lizard. If you've ever seen a lizard do this, they sort of shift around. They move with the wind so that you don't see them. They look like a leaf. I did not get to see an iguana when I was in South Florida. I was looking for them. So lizard pose. Shifting forward, back, maybe sweeping the hips a little side to side, maybe a circle with your hips. So deeply connect to the inner flow. It's really easy to connect with the outer flow, like the clocks have changed, the sun is rising, the weather is doing something. Connect with the inner flow. So push forward and hold now. Walk this foot in, maybe walk your hand to the outer part of the leg. So you're in low lunge. Let's lift the back knee up and push your hips back. So do try to get your back heel down on the floor. I don't know what this means. The front knee becomes kind of the lever that's making that happen. I'm trying to stretch that calf. So now push down to rise up to that crescent shape. We've been working on this. Press down, hands lift, arms stretch up, and extend back. So extension poses, not to be undersold or underused. Extension poses open the heart, but maybe more importantly, they compress those discs in the back. Long story short, that allows new energy in. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I really have to squeeze my shoulder blades together to get my rhomboid to give up its stress. And then come all the way down. In fact, come all the way down to child's pose in your time, whether you have the knees wide this time or not. When you get there, let's do 3 breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, I am. Exhale that. Everything is unfolding in the way that it should. Inhale, I am. Exhale, I am becoming what I need to be. Slowly come back up. So this is where I take a little step forward and then take the other leg up and back. Remember this? Brace the abdominals and sway the leg only side to side. Remember, not the hips. This is a practice and knowing when to hold, knowing when to change. And then guiding that action because your thoughts, people talk about karma, for example. And it's a little bit more complex than just, your actions become things. It means that you are creating the world that you are living in. So our nervous system is processing everything. So process now the holding of the abdominals, the flow of the breath. Now arch that leg. Remember, it goes across and down, then up and out and down. Keep generating the results that you want. And you do that by engaging the fire of the belly and then molding that into the shapes, the asana, the shapes, the holding spaces. Ujjayi breath again and again. So remember, we're just going with kindness, the flow. After 3, and then cross the leg over, bring the knee to the floor on the opposite side, and then find some way to push back or push out that makes sense for you. So this is one of those really big full body stretches that you may find, something in your shoulder blade on one side, but something in your hip when we're on the other side. So we'll repeat that whole sequence. Three more breaths. Really get your breath into the nasal cavities, almost like you're trying to restrict it from going out, and then come back up. Take that same side leg, straighten it, levitate it back there, and point and flex at the ankle. Try to keep your energy and your balance midline, not leaning. Now circle the ankle around. 3, 2, 1, and then the other way for 3. Good, you got this. 2 and 1. Take this leg and bring the toes to the floor. Turn onto your side. So this is where you bring one hand right under its shoulder. Turn side, open up the chest and the arm straight up. So first check in on your alignment. Are you still sort of twisted towards the floor? So shoulders are stacked. 2 hip bones are stacked. Here we go. We're going to take this top arm down by the side hip and then arch it up and over your head towards the floor in front of you, and then flow back and forth. Ujjayi breath is taking the fire of the belly and transforming it through the nadis, the channels, the rivers that have been preset by your actions, your past actions. 3, 2, 1. So come back, bring both hands back down to the front, twist, lift up that back leg, take the leg all the way out to the side now. Remember, 90 degrees out, and push the inner ankle, inner foot into the floor hard. What we're doing is strengthening the inner thigh. Concentrate hard. Like, don't let up. Like you're really, really, really trying to dig a hole with your foot into the floor. And then release. This is where we take the foot forward into lizard. Remember, lizard is where your foot is off at a diagonal. And then we do that moving, swaying, camouflaging lizard. Maybe really far back, maybe only a little bit forward. This is the only time that you set out for you and you alone. So you are in there, you are living your best life inside of you, inside of this body, which you are judging constantly. And you're always looking out and using your senses to detect what the outer world is doing, and then maybe how you should respond to it. And so you create patterns of thinking and patterns of movement that you put on auto repeat all day. This is the only time when you're actually looking in. So dig in deep. Push forward and hold. You're doing great. Let's walk this foot to the middle of the mat and then take your arm up and over. So low lunge. Lift the back knee by tucking the toes in, pushing down. Suck the belly in, then rise up to crescent shape. Remember, hips stay low. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze everything on the back. Between the shoulder blades, even the upper neck area, the lower back. Squeeze, 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 like you're trying to like peel the edges of the back to the inside. Give this another breath. And then bring the hands down so you're holding on to the blocks. And then try pushing the back leg's heel into the mat. So this front knee becomes the lever. So pushing back to get a stretch in the calf. Good job. All right, we're going to bring it up now. Lean forward, walk your blocks forward, land on this front foot by jumping your back foot a little forward. Now you might come all the way up. Well, we're going to do some Jiva squats. So use your blocks, if you have blocks, like little poles, and then balance only on this front foot. Bend both knees and then straighten both legs. So bend and straighten. So do 3 or 4 of those, trying to figure out if you can first. Holding on to the coffee table, holding on to the chair, or coming all the way up into a standing, because we'll meet you there. But bend your knees. So then bend both knees, come up with the upper body, cross this back heel over the front knee, hands to heart, and sit into this cross-legged figure 4 chair. Now, the reason I had you do all of that, and the reason we're in this really, really topsy-turvy imbalance is same thing. I want your knees to have a variety of forces that challenge the connective tissue, inner and outer thigh. Unfold that leg, step it all the way to the back edge of the mat. We come back into that crescent shape. So inhale, stretch up, and exhale, extend back. Inhale up, come all the way down and into child's pose. After 3 breaths, we're going to do that whole thing again. 3. Going with the flow. 1 more. Here we go. Exhale. We'll come back up to hands and knees. First leg. Walk a little forward, stretch it up and back. Swing the leg side to side, and then arch the leg up and over, out and down. Cross the leg over the back leg, bring the knee to the floor, and push back. Maybe lean, maybe twist. Take a breath into this pose. Exhale it out. And then come back up. Unwind the back leg, stretch it out behind you, point and flex the foot. Circle the ankle around and the other way. Bring the toes to the floor, turn onto your side. So this is where the inner foot comes to the floor. One hand comes up underneath. Take that top arm to the hip and flow it up and over, and then up and down. Up and over. Down 1 more time. This time, take it up and over. Land the hand on the floor. Turn back towards the floor. Lift the back leg. Take it out to the side. Push it down hard. Push down and rise up. And then this is where we flow side to side. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. This is where that part goes. Do 2 or 3 more. I feel like this one needs a little bit extra practice. Come back to the front. This is where we walk this side leg forward and into that lizard. Remember, so the foot walks up and out at a diagonal. Push forward and push back in that swaying lizard. This is a lot today. I know. If this is too much, let it be. Walk the foot to the inside. So now you're in low lunge. Lift the back knee up. Lean back into the calf. Remember the stretch for the calf and the heel to the floor. And then this is where we lift off. So grab the blocks, stand them on end. Lean forward, bend the front knee. This is where we do those jiva squats where you lift up, bend both knees, straighten both knees. About 3 of these. Bend both knees, stand all the way up. As you stand up, cross this back ankle over the front knee, then sit down into this figure 4 chair. Remember, I'm challenging you, expecting you to fall so that your muscles around your knee learn about balance, left, right, forward, back, and even the twisting. Unwind, step back into high lunge. Circle up and extend back into crescent shape. Let's give this another breath. This is the one. This is the one. We're not doing a lot of extension today. And then come all the way down into child's pose. Control the landing. When you get to child's pose, let's breathe together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again. Good, so we'll push back up and do that other leg. Walk a little forward, take the other leg now up and back, hold. Sway the leg side to side without swaying the hips. Now arch the leg up, over and down, up, out, and down. Find the strength of the inner core. Remember, resilient. Cross the leg over behind you, land the knee and push back. Any amount. One complete breath here. Come back up. Unwind the back leg, lift it up, straighten it back. Point and flex at the ankle. Keep the belly pulling in and up, so don't overarch your back. Circle the foot around for 3, 2, and then the other way. 3, 2. Land the foot on the floor, turn onto side. So we call this modified side plank pose, hand to hip, the top hand. And then it arches up and over and down. And back to the hip. Up and over and down. And back to the hip. So this time, land the hand back onto the floor. Turn into the front. Take that back leg, lift it up, stretch it out to the side, 90-degree angle, and push down. Equally push down. So you're really not leaning left or right, you're right in the center. Embrace your abs. Now come up. So bring your hands and your chest and your body up. Reach up and lean side to side. So Whether you touch the floor and maybe hang out there, or you're just moving side to side, keep grounding through the legs. Keep taking the action of going with the flow, of embracing that you are the energy. You are the energy of the earth. You're not creating it, you're just transforming it. This is a good one. So then land the hands and come into lizard pose. So that side leg steps forward at a diagonal. Then lean forward and back, swaying lizard. Ujjayi, directing your energy to open your heart and to become a quiet and kind observer. Push forward and hold. Wiggle, walk your foot to the center, low lunge. Lift the back knee. Push back, kind of by straightening your front leg, hold. And then push forward. Here we go for those jiva squats. So stand the blocks on end, hop forward, bend both knees, straighten both legs. 3, 2, and 1. So then squat down, come all the way up, cross the ankle, sit into a cross-legged chair. This is the challenging one. This is the one I expect you to fall so that you learn balance. Balance isn't staying still, that's stillness. Balance is moving. Step all the way to the back edge of the mat in that high lunge. Circle up and extend back into crescent high lunge. This is the juicy one. This is the one that I'm getting all that good squeezing action in the back. Getting rid of the tension, getting rid of the stress. Opening the heart. One more breath. Come all the way up. This time, let's step forward into Tadasana. Bring the hands at the heart. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, extend back one more time. Inhale, come up. Swan dive into forward fold. Bend your knees and try to land your hips slowly and safely, 1 millimeter at a time, onto the floor. Roll all the way down. Do you have a strap? If you have a strap, grab the strap. If you don't even worry about it. We're just going to loop it on the foot and stretch one leg up. Stretch the other leg out. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. So let's do 3 breaths to anchor the body. So deep breath in. Exhale, soak into the earth. Deep breath in. Exhale, soak into the earth. One more. Then slowly switch to the other leg. That last move I did, as you're setting this stretch up, that last one where we went from fully standing all the way down through a deep squat, that and the jiva squats, we're training the knee that it can flex. We think that it can't, but it can. So here we go. Deep breath in. Exhale, soak into the earth. Deep breath in. Exhale, soak into the earth. One more time. You can take the strap off. Let's do a little happy baby. That's where you grab the knees, pull them in, widen the knees. Kick the feet up, either grab the feet or grab the outer shins or the back of the thighs and pull straight down. So your knee is aiming to the floor underneath your armpit. Bring the knees kind of together and rock side to side. All right, close your eyes. Either keep rocking or land in a twist. But I invite you to move your mind away from that vinyasa flow. It was complicated, it was challenging, it was strengthening. Move it away from that and open your heart and mind to accept today's lesson. Remember, it was embrace the blessings, to be open to the flow. I am growing. I am unfolding. And then move all the way into Shavasana, or twist your hips and legs over to the other side if you were holding one side. Let me give you a minute to finish your stretch. But as you begin to decide that it's time to move into Shavasana, let me remind you that Shavasana is the time to integrate the doing into being.
And so now take a few moments, just 10 seconds, to integrate these changes.
Slowly push up off the floor and press all the way back up. When you do, come into an easy seated pose with the palms together. Pause to align each vertebrae to create space top to bottom, bottom to top. With a smile on your face, inhale and circle the arms up overhead. As you exhale now, sweep the arms out, down, scoop the hands back together, and bring that energy back into your heart where you and I meet in integration. Namaste.